Worm ball. Worm ball. 2 worm balls. 1 worm ball. Another worm ball. It seems they like the pumpkin. They just went to the tops instead of the bottoms. Actually, let me get my tool this time. Are there any underneath? No, they're all up top. Fascinating. Oh, there we go. There's a whole bunch of them. Oops, sorry guys. Oh, this one got it flipped. Since you're on the other side. You on the other side? No, not really. Mostly on that side. A bunch there. And a few down there. So what we're looking for is we're gonna grab some of these and put them into our breeding bins in the workshop. So let me scoop some up. Let's see. So here, just with the ball. Bloop. Here's another one. Put that in. And that worm ball. Oh yeah. And scoop the surface. That. And also give them some food. Since we're going to be transporting them to a new bin. There we go. Let's check the other side. All right. Worm ball. Worm ball. Worm ball. Worm ball. Okay, apparently they like the tops. But that makes it easy for me to just kind of scoop them up here and put them in my little travel tray. There we go. You guys are going on a little trip. Let's see what's underneath. Nah, I believe those guys. Yeah. Alright. Come on. I want this mess of worms. Look at that mess of worms. Cool. There's a whole bunch more. We'll grab them. Put them into our continually growing pile. Here's another one. I do like worm balls. Makes it easy to move them. Okay, I hope there's some more under this one. There we go. There. There's that one. Oh, it must be morning. The rooster's crowing. There we go. We'll just add that whole pumpkin in there, and then here's a whole bunch. And this is why we moved to the workshop, because he likes to crow at random times throughout the day. Oh my lord. Alright, let's grab this. Let's take a half pound of worms. And there's another one. There's pumpkin. So we'll grab that one. Put it over here. And we'll leave the rest of these guys. Should be enough. Well, maybe I'll take this one. You guys enjoying the beat. There we go. Alright. There. That is more than enough worms for our purposes. Alright. I'll leave the ones in the other bins. And we'll flip these back over. Not that it really matters, since apparently they like the tops too. Cool. Alright, we'll cover them back up. And then we will head over. And we'll head over to the workshop. So, let me grab tools. And we got ourselves a couple pounds of worms now. So, we'll head over there. Okay. So, Mr. Rogers, let me take my jacket off. Much better. Okay, so we have a couple pounds of worms here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them to the 3 trays that we have going on in here that we started a couple weeks ago. So let me get those 3 down, put them under the light so you can actually see, and then we'll get these worms added to them. All right, this is our pumpkin themed one. I don't know why that matters, but that's what I labeled it. So, pretty mixed up inside. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a big scoop. I just wanna make sure I'm not harming any of these guys. So I'll take the pumpkin with some worms already in place. And we'll add it in here. And then I'm gonna grab a scoop. So we've got 3 bins, right? So I'm gonna take 1/3 of what we grabbed. I'm just gonna put them on the pumpkin and we'll grab a couple more. And you can see these guys are already balling up and hopefully breeding. Trying to see if I can see any cocoons in the mix. That is a seed. That is not a cocoon. I don't see any other seed. They must have gotten into a tomato or something. Let's see if we can see any. I don't see any with my naked eye. But again, I have really bad eyesight. All right, so we'll pop them in there. And the plan here is to grow up this population, get them to breed. So over the next probably month or 2, get them to form a large population of worms so that we can use them to start a whole new CFT. And the reason we put them into new bins and keep them separate from the old CFTs is so that they will expand their population, because worms will expand their population to fill up the area available. And so we want them in these totes so that they fill up this area, and then we add stuff to it, or we'll split these bins and split them and split them and split them until we have more than enough to start up more CFTs. And I also want to start that clear bin in the next probably month. So we want to make sure that we have plenty of worms for that. And, you know, we don't always have pumpkins to bait them out like we did. And so it's easier now to get these set up and do this. And it's winter. So we will either keep the worms in the barn where it's heated, or what we use are these little heated pet mats that we have. We have a bunch of these, and we use them for the dogs, the cats, when they're in the workshop, because it's not always heated. We don't always have the stove going in here to heat stuff up. And it's, I mean, right now it's 50, so it's not bad. And so we'll use those when it gets especially cold, and we'll just put them under the bins, and they'll keep them warm enough so that they don't freeze. Although they're pretty safe indoors, it doesn't get below, I think the lowest it got last year was 20 Fahrenheit in here, which is, what is that, like 15 Celsius? Something like that. No, negative. I'm sorry. That's negative 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. Anyway, doesn't get that cold in here, so they're still fine. They just move towards the middle of the bins, but we like to keep them heated, and that does more than enough to keep them happy. So that's the plan. So now this one is set. So we've got the worms in there making themselves at home. They'll spread out. We'll get this one covered, and we'll do the same thing with the other two. Okay, so we started this bin at 650 subscribers. We are down, I'm looking now, we're at 693. So that's awesome. We're up 43 in 3 weeks. So that's kind of exciting. Anyway, all right, so this one's all set up. We'll add in one chowed down pumpkin, and then half of the worms that are left. Let them chill out on top of there. See if I can see any cocoons in the mix. Doesn't look like it. I don't know. But they will get acclimated to their new home over the next little bit. Okay, there you go. And then we'll put the last of them in the third bin. So, as I'm closing this bin, I wanted to show you something. Have worm will travel, right? So worms will go where worms want to go. And sometimes that is this little area at the top where the handles go. Drives me nuts. I usually, I can't get my fingers in there because I've got sausage fingers, but I'll use like tweezers or something not sharp to kind of persuade them out and back into the bin. Although they know where the food is. They don't die when they get up there. They're just chilling. It's like going on vacation, I guess. So it's normal. It happens. Don't worry about it. All right, this is the tray with the potted plant that they were all in. I think we got most of them out, and they've moved into other parts of the bin. Yeah, I see a few in there. So now we'll dump the rest of these guys in there. Just pour them in. And there's a few stragglers. There's always a few stragglers. So let me grab that guy. Come on. There you go. So now they will get acclimated and hopefully breed up enough so that we can grow this population enough for a couple more bins. So simple stuff. Anytime you want to be growing your population, you want to split your bins. If you want to keep adding more and more and more bins, what'll happen is they'll fill that area up. So they kind of create their own little ecosystem here, and they keep it in as full as they can. So they'll fill it up to that level, and then they will stop breeding, or there'll be a die off, but they'll keep it at that same level. So they'll breed up to the point to fill their capacity, right? And so that's why you want to split your bins. If you don't want to keep growing your worm population, don't split your bins, because they'll stop breeding and they'll stop expanding. It's not like your bins are going to be overflowing with worms. It just doesn't work that way, because they know how to maintain their population. They're very unlike humans. And so these are now set. So I'll probably split these in a couple of months. And then we'll keep, maybe we'll split them off and take half and put them into the new CFTs, and half and leave them in a new breeding bin, something like that, instead of pouring them all into the CFTs. It kind of depends on what we have going on and what kind of food scraps we have coming in that we need them chomping through. So, because right now I think we're getting about 500 pounds a week. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that as well a little bit. We have about 80 households that we're collecting from. Roughly 20 of those are in the same exact location. It's a mosque that they cook for their people, and so they have one of our big bins. It's a 55-gallon roll-off garbage can, and then they have about 20 people that do buckets, do a 5-gallon bucket. But the majority of our customers are within probably 5 minutes of where we start in our hometown, and so it's relatively easy. The problem is when there's 40 or 50 of them in a day, it takes the full day to swap buckets, because we'll stop at everyone's house, pick up the old bucket, give them a new bucket. And so that's what when I say we're collecting between 450 and 500 pounds a week, that's essentially what it is households to keep the stuff out of landfills. And so I don't remember what the count is for this year, but if we're averaging 400 or 500 pounds and it's mid-November, that's what, 25,000 pounds, something like that is what I think we've collected so far this year, just in food scraps. And I mean, I guess that counts, the hemp counts into that. And the brewer's grains, those are probably 500 to 1,000 pounds each pickup. But that's how much we've kept out of landfills. So that's pretty awesome. We're really proud of that. So that'll be it for today. We got these bins set up, so we'll keep checking on them. Continue to watch the videos, subscribe if you're new. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Leave me a comment or a question if you have it. And we'll see you all next time. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Every branch.